Hello, this is Dave, and welcome back to Equity Story. I'm here with the Wolf. I apologize a little bit later today, and obviously just general share advice, not personal advice. Wolfie, can I say the markets last night sort of, coming off again, but I'm going to give you a little bit of hope here, right? A little bit of hope. Okay. So the Nasdaq's off again, but if you look on the charts, it's it's getting a little bit nervous, but it's still above trend, right? So let's not be too panicky. I'm also looking at the Dow, and again, still actually just hovering quite nicely, not quite nicely above the trend line. And it's been a tough week, but it's what I would say is that don't panic yet, Mr. Mannering. I don't know if you ever watched Dad's Army, but
I think that the title says it all, Dave. That's the stuff you probably watch, Dad's Army.
But our market, if you look at the XJO. What you're seeing now is a little bit of resistance around that 760, those all-time highs. The price action this week isn't that good. We've had a very good run, right? Let's put this in context. It is possible, next few weeks could be a little bit negative. Therefore, what it means is that short-term trending stocks are going to be hard going, Wolfie, possibly over the next sort of week or so. And the reason being, inflation is still not going away, right?
And neither are interest rate rises.
Yeah.
One leads to the other, right? So I think that's what the market's sort of fretting about now. We need to move the goalpost slightly. And that's why the market's sort of behaving the way it is after a pretty good run. I think we had, 5 green weeks? So understandably, a bit of a pullback, a bit of profit taking, after a strong run on some of these stocks. And we're just waiting for another catalyst somewhere where we can see some numbers. Potentially they'll give us an indication where we're going from here. We've got some actually quite interesting numbers coming out of China today with CPI stuff, so that could give us a little bit more of what we could expect here of Australia if China numbers are going okay. But generally speaking, Deb, I think we're going to probably have that 1 or 2 or 3 weeks of just probably trying to settle down a bit and finding our new direction where we go from here.
Right, and having a look, I mean, obviously that trending stocks are going to suffer in a week like this. So, sometimes you've got to just decide, like, look at BXB. Normal times a good buy signal. One that did go actually, Wolfie, this went against the grain. LYL, it went through that buy signal absolutely beautifully. And you know what? I think this one could go higher. Right, nice looking chart. We had again Ash, which we put on as a trend last week, looking very yummy and actually moving up and having that nice breakout. Even CAA. So again, what's happening, Wolfie? The markets, when they get nervous, what are they looking at? Good dividends, value stocks.
Yeah, right? Safety, defensive, safety.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you things like, for example, SND. Some of these trends are actually sort of, it's very lightly traded, open a little bit lower, but the whole, ALU for a tech stock is actually holding up really, really well. OMH, again, this one bucking the trend a little bit and going for that bullish signal. So certainly on Einstein, it's not all doom and gloom. And there's one stock that did worry me, Wolfie, and that we are trending this, and we did have a nice move on it, was SQ2 earlier. This, again, I'm not overly thrilled of the price action. Big, sort of ugly candle down below the blue. Unfortunately, Wolfie, I have to call that a sell.
Okay.
That's the system. You've got to play by system. And, looking at, what you could do if you wanted, it's following maybe SQ in America. You could wait till Monday, if this is still looking down, to decide to get out of it. But yeah, listen, just a few gremlins out there this week, Wolf, and it's certainly trending a lot harder. And if you're going to pick those trending stocks, you're going to have to be a lot more careful with them. Yeah,
but the other thing is a little bit of bad luck. I mean, the tech stocks were starting to look good on some of these bigger stories, but this week was just a sell-off, and they don't look so good. So this is the problem. Sometimes the timing of it when you're doing a short-term trade, you're hoping for another good week of tech stocks, and if it doesn't come, that's what can happen, right?
Yeah, definitely. Now, were there any stocks that came out with announcements today?
They did, but probably not worth talking about. So there's not much there. Okay, let's look at one, because at least it's a big one. So that's realestate.com.au. So let's have a look at that one just on a chart, because it's a market darling. It's in the tech space to see just how the market reacted. It wasn't too bad. So, you know, the numbers were fairly flat to negative for this half. So when you think about it, you know, I'd say if you're in this stock story for some reason, obviously not going to be there for a dividend, you got to play the trends, I suppose. And if it's not, you know, if it's not doing anything, maybe there's a better places to put your money in, especially when you're thinking if the interest rate rises are still a little bit further away than we anticipated, maybe this is going to be a bit dangerous to be in. Especially, I think I saw another account saying that the housing prices now, they've revised them. Housing prices will go down about between 20 and 25% instead of 15 to 20%. That's what they're calling. So as you can see, maybe that's not the place to be if you're in this.
Well, they're saying housing could go down 15, 20% from
15, 20% to 20 to 25%. Yes.
Right. That's pretty devastating, Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, but this is the thing. They're thinking short term, right? For 2023, they think 2024 will be a rebound. So that's, you know, they're talking about the mortgages that are falling off from those zero interest rates this year. So that potentially could have an impact. Plus, of course, we still haven't seen the repercussions of the interest rate rises, right? Because remember, it's a lagging thing. We're going to see exactly how that sort of transfer. So I can understand the thinking. You know, whether that happens 20%, I'm not so sure. But anyway, there's probably still a little more negativity to come in this space.
Wolf, just having a look at EGL, which had that move up. I mean, it's held up at a tough week. It's holding up the top part of the candle, which again, if I was in that, I'd be holding it. Yep. And again, like we said, you know, XRO just struggling to get through that trend. So be very wary if you're in XRO. It really needs to break over that line. Otherwise, it could come back down to that $70 mark. On that going, Wolf, yeah, it is quite today. Now we got live in an hour. So I think there's going to be a lot of questions like Dave, especially from those traders. And I think there's going to be a lot of tough talk.
Yes.
There's going to be
right?
a lot of, we might have to, a bit of chopping, but there's nothing wrong with that because that's what we do, isn't it?
Bit of weed pulling, as I like to say.
Weed pulling. All right. On that note, Wolfie, listen, thank you very much, champion. I'll see you in 1 hour.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Bye.